The Tyrannosaurus Rex is by far one of the most popular dinosaurs in the Jurassic Park franchise, with many fans repeatedly asking for more scenes featuring the animal wrecking stuff and doing what everyone wants it to do. But did you know that an extended sequence showing the dinosaur getting captured was actually planned for Jurassic World Dominion that we unfortunately never got to see? What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Now, for today's video, I wanted to talk about some concept art that looks like it was supposed to follow a very specific scene from the extended version of Jurassic World Dominion. Now, in the final cut of the movie, we don't really see what happened to the Tyrannosaurus at all. And we just learn in a line of passing dialogue to Doctors Grant and Sattler that it took them 3 years to capture the T-Rex. Now, if we take a look at some of this concept art, we can see the Tyrannosaur walking around a public area around a ton of cars. A lot of the stuff looks like it was designed for the highway, where a bunch of Mack trucks would come across the Tyrannosaur and it would scare people. I'm not really sure if it was supposed to be heavy traffic, but it looks like an action sequence that was supposed to be pretty exhaustive. And then, and this is where things honestly get insane, the Tyrannosaurus actually walks into some power lines and gets electrocuted while helicopters are shown inbound to come and catch it. Now, for some reason, and I have no idea why, the Tyrannosaur is still alive and manages to continue walking on past the catastrophic destruction it's just caused, dragging the power lines behind it. Now, this is where a bunch of the concept art starts to show what happened after. And I guess they were apparently able to pull up on the dinosaur and unload a massive amount of tranquilizer darts into the animal before strapping the dinosaur down in a way that looks like it's straight out of the Lost World Jurassic Park. Now look, guys, personally, this just does not seem like anything I would have believed for even a second if I saw it in the finished movie. I don't know if there's some context I'm missing here. All of the stuff looks cool and we're going to talk about it, but if the T-Rex hit the power lines, I'm pretty sure it would have been killed immediately. I mean, we're talking about it dragging the power lines behind it, maybe shocking its tail or killing people that are running around in the wake of that destruction. And look, if it did manage to survive after being shocked, I have no idea how. I know elephants usually die when they walk into sagging power lines in places all over the world, so seeing the T-Rex just kind of take it like it's barely an inconvenience is a little weird. But hold on to your butts, because there may actually be a little bit of info in the movie that kind of connects all of this concept art together in a scene that we can't actually see. Remember the scene where the T-Rex attacks the drive-in theater from the original version of Dominion? This is only shown in the extended cut now, but it looks like the plan might have been for the helicopter guys to actually follow the T-Rex out onto the road after it messed everything up at the drive-in. So we would have seen it roar in front of the screen, walk out into the road, and then get electrocuted by the power lines before everyone rolled up on it and took the animal down. And in the final cut of the movie, if you actually pay attention to the conversation that Dr. Alan Grant and Ramsey have in the helicopter, you can hear them talk about the electric impulses they send to the animals to get them to go wherever they want them to go in the film. And Ramsey talks about whether or not Grant knew how much voltage was in the fences at Jurassic Park. Not sure if that's supposed to be some kind of tie-in to the T-Rex getting electrocuted at the beginning of the movie in this concept art or whatever, but I can think of all kinds of stuff that would have been way more interesting in the finished version of Dominion. Imagine if they thought they had the T-Rex locked down, it gets shocked, and that little electrical chip or whatever in its brain got fried, so then it can go wherever it wants to. I mean, Dominion had all these ideas, too many ideas, quite frankly, that I think don't really add up for the movie that I think a lot of people wanted to see. But this concept art, I will admit, looks incredibly cool. It's very interesting at the very least, and it would have made for a really fun scene. Now look, I actually think the idea of the drive-in scene that we got in the final cut was pretty cool in Jurassic World Dominion. Should the T-Rex have actually eaten someone? Most definitely. But the idea of catching the T-Rex, or at least seeing it get captured, would have been awesome in the final version version of this movie. I do have a major problem with believing it wouldn't have died, though. I mean, if it hit the power lines, you would have to have some guy saying something like literally seconds before this action scene goes down, like, shut the power, and someone doing something drastic, like try to lift the dinosaur up so that she isn't grounded or something before it gets shocked. Because I really do think that the dinosaur would not have survived that kind of shock at all. Maybe I'm wrong. I know the Tyrannosaur is way bigger than an elephant, obviously, but even a brachiosaur getting tied up in power lines was an idea I personally had like 8 years ago for a dinosaur scene on the mainland for Jurassic Park. And the idea I had, like, I remember talking about it, was with people where they had to cut the dinosaur's carcass up and get it out of the road so that people could drive down and continue normal life, because it just shocked it and it died instantly. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it's super cool to see a Tyrannosaur out on like a highway. It's giving me Terminator 2 vibes, but I don't know, man. Would it really have survived? The only way I could see this movie working with this entire Tyrannosaurus electrocution scene would be if they used it as some sort of excuse as to why the dinosaur lost an early battle to the Giganotosaurus before coming back in the second half and just absolutely wrecking it. So it's like a Rocky 3 sort of arc for the animal. But no, realistically, I just don't see how the dinosaur would survive that at all. In fact, I want to hear it from all of you in the comments. And now, I won't lie, all of this stuff looks super cool. If they could find a scientific way for me to at least sort of believe it, I would. But I want to hear from people in the comments. Is it possible that a 7 to 8 ton Tyrannosaurus would survive that amount of electrocution without suffering like massive damage that could have crippled it for life? Like, if there is anyone who could explain to me that it would make sense, I would gladly read over it and accept that it could happen, because this all does look extremely cool. It would have been an incredible action sequence, but don't you think it would have killed the animal? Or maybe at the very least, like, left some horrific Freddy Krueger styled scarring on its body and caused it to be severely injured? I mean, that's just what comes to my mind. You know, it's just really fascinating that Jurassic Park was going to have this giant scene where the T-Rex like wanders out onto this open road with Mack trucks and there's cars everywhere and helicopters, people are trying to tranquilize it, and it goes through this like power line thing and drags them behind it. I can imagine if this was like 1999 or 2000 and this was like Jurassic Park 3, you would have people getting electrocuted, you'd have people getting eaten by the T-Rex. Spielberg or whoever would have made like an intense scene. Like, that sounds awesome, man. But we do have this whole section of the movie that I think could have been fun in Dominion had it been done right. Now look guys, when it comes to Jurassic World Dominion as a whole, as a movie, part of me wonders what actually happened behind the scenes, because we all know that COVID radically transformed this film, but what I really want to talk about is what happened to Colin Trevorrow's original vision of Dominion. Like, we now know that there were so many rewrites to the film from various other writers, but what was it originally supposed to be? And when did this T-Rex capture sequence get thrown out? I wonder if it's possible for us to get something remotely similar to what everyone was kind of expecting after Fallen Kingdom, with Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm joining Owen and Claire in some sort of wild dinosaur capture team after the animals get out all around California at the end of the Lockwood Manor incident. Like, that really does sound like a movie that people would have still really enjoyed to see even right now, but oh well. Still, I want to say these pieces of concept art are incredible, and yes, I do think something like this would be awesome in a new movie. I have long said how much I would love the idea of doing a Jurassic Park film completely set on the mainland, and specifically set within the confines of a city. I don't know if any of you guys are fans of the Carnivores series, but there was one of those games called Carnivore Cityscape, and the imagery of a raptor against concrete just looks super 90s and old school Jurassic Park. Also, you guys will definitely remember Roland Emmerich's Godzilla, the Carnosaur movies, and stuff like that. But look, I really think Jurassic Park is long overdue for something like just this in a feature-length movie. The only thing I would say that they need to do is just cut back and forth between something happening on either Nublar or Sorna, or maybe even modern Africa or something, to add that jungle value. Anyways, guys, what do all of you think? What are your thoughts on this abandoned idea from Jurassic World? And do you think it would have been cool to see in the final film, that you know, Jurassic World Dominion that they made. I personally think they could have swapped it out for an Allosaurus and just had it get killed by the electric, like, stuff going through its body, or just make it make sense, man. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that could actually have maybe the T-Rex could have actually survived it. Let me know in the comments down below. Either way, it's kind of wild how both Dino Crisis 3 and Jurassic Park 3 abandoned their Dinosaur City stories, and now we have Dominion with this extended idea going through this, like, road that really could have been visually cool, but unfortunately got abandoned. Still, I don't think it would have made sense, but who knows? Maybe one of you can explain it to me better. With that being said, whatever your own thoughts happen to be, I'd love to hear all about them in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I want to thank everyone that's helped me build my channel over the years. I'd also like to thank every one of you guys who've watched my stuff. You've all been extremely cool to me. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like and hope that you'll consider subscribing. God bless you all. Christ is King. See you guys in the next video, and as always, take it easy.